Good morning and welcome to The Becoming Trader. I'm your host, Chris Kamp, and I am The Becoming Trader. So this Monday trading review won't be so much about trading and my trade setups and all that, because I decided this last few days that I didn't really have, the market was sort of stabilizing and going in a direction, and I've missed, because I was on holiday, I missed a few setups, and so while I was waiting for the new setups to emerge, I decided that I'm going to actually go live, go with real money, and see how that will impact me mentally. And then it might just give me a bit more focus, so that I don't, so I can focus more on trading, focus more on, because when it's not real money, you're a little bit more lenient with yourself. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get to it. But when it's real money, you're like, shit, I need to do it now, right? So I've got into a couple of trades this morning, so I'll just go through that, and then I'll just talk about other things. See how we go. So let's get this down here somewhere. Okay, so this is one of the trades I just took now, on the hourly chart. So I put in a buy order there. There's my first take profit, second take profit, and my full take profit. It's quite nice. The first take profit is just below that level of resistance, and then my second one is just below that level of resistance, and my final one is just below the major level of resistance. So that, I like that. We'll see how that goes. I had a nice little buy signal there, and I went for it. So we'll see how that goes. And then this one I took this morning. There's a sell signal there. This one is just below that, so I'll have to just keep on it, but it's not too far. Then that one, and then that one is above that major major level of support. So I'll just be keeping an eye on those two. So something I wanted to just discuss, and let's bring this one up for some reason. This is just random. So I was talking to a friend, and he set up. Let's get some. Let's actually use these charts up. So he does more 15-minute time charts, so it's more short term. And we were talking, was it Thursday? When did the USD decide to crash? It was around this time, so the 25th. And I was talking to him, and basically he put in his entry point was somewhere around here, and his exit was, I think it was just below that, somewhere there. And the market went down, and he was happy with it. And then he moved his stop loss. He moved his stop loss just below entry point, so if it went back up, it would break even. And something that when it got roughly down here, I told him, okay, there's probably going to be some, just, a minor correction in the market at this point here. And as you can see, it did actually happen. I was getting to the end of the day, and I said, okay, there's probably going to be a correction at that point there, because there was quite a big drop, and there's probably going to be a correction there. And so he asked me a question, said, so should I come out of the trade now? And I said to him, well, it depends. I said, you've moved your stop loss just below break even, and the market's likely going to go back up right now. So I said to him, it depends if you can handle if you can handle being stopped out and only breaking even. So he asked me, he said to me, well, what do you mean by only handled break even. So I said, well, you know, there's one thing about putting in a stop loss and the market going and breaking you out straight away. It's a different game altogether. When you the market's going in your direction, and it actually is even a 1-to-1, you know, and it's in a positive. You're getting all the dollars in, and you move your stop loss to break even, and then suddenly the market turns and stops you out. And the psychological effect of that money being lost, you know, that all that money being lost, is, when you come down here and you see these little numbers running. You probably can't see it because I'm in the way there, but you see these little numbers running, and it goes into the positive, and then you see it at like, you know, if you had a $1,000 account and you see it at $10, $15, and you think, and you know, you get all hyped up and you get really excited. Then the market turns and stops you out, and you only get 50 cents. One of the big psychological effects of that is that you really do feel the impact of only breaking even. You know, even if it's part of your strategy, if you know, okay, if the market gets to 1-to-1, and I've backtested it, gets to 1-to-1, and I put my my stop loss at break even, and it stops me out, I know in the long run I will get to that 2-to-1 or whatever it is, and I will make profit. It still has a psychological impact that you've lost money, even though you didn't really lose money. You still made a profit. You broke even, but you still, you know, a little bit in the green. You still feel like you lost money, and that can have quite a big impact on your trading, because then you start to think, what if I don't put my stop loss there, and you know, I know it's going to go back down, especially if it does something like it's going back down. I think it's going to continue going up, but you know, you put your stop loss there, you put your stop loss at break even, it takes you out, and then it goes back down into your direction, and you could have made a profit. So one thing I'd say is just try and keep that mentality. And this is what I told him. I said, well, you know, it depends if you can handle it, because if you can't handle being stopped out at break even, and if you feel like you've lost money, then the market's going to turn now. So just, you know, take the profit, or don't put your stop loss there. So, but yeah, what actually happened was he made his daily goal. He made his profit for the day. So he was just going with the flow. So he didn't really mind. He wanted just to see where it went, and I think he did get stopped out at break even, and he's happy with it. He's really happy with it, and that's good. Like that's where you want to be with your trading. You wanna do things and be happy with it. You wanna, even if you get stopped out, if you do all the right things, you know, my trades here, if this goes up and stops me out, like, I'm really happy. I've followed all my rules. To me, it's a good setup because it follows all my rules. I did everything according to my strategy, and if it gets stopped out, it gets stopped out. That's fine. If it goes on to make a profit, that's fine. Like, as long as you stick to your strategy, that'll be the most important thing. Psychologically, obviously, you do want to, keep yourself safe. Keep yourself safe mentally, and trust your strategy. Trust yourself and trust your strategy. As long as you, one thing that you could do is, if the market can piss you off, sorry about it, the market can make you really angry, and you can get angry. If this gets stopped out, I'll be like, oh man, come on, it's like, it was a perfect strategy. Why is it getting stopped out? It shouldn't be getting stopped out. It should be going in this direction. Come on, market, do your job. You know, So one thing I would say is, if that you can get angry, you can get upset with the market, that's fine. Distance yourself from the market, take a walk, get some fresh air, take a breath, and just recoup, because and come back and say, you know what, that's what the market does. The market is no one's slave. The market doesn't follow anyone. Um, you know, Another thing that happened was, um, my sister works in finances, and she works as a she works with different currencies in her company. So she's got to move market from one currency to another. She's got to move her money of the company from one currency to the other. So she is also sort of a trader, um, and one thing. So she's like, oh, I've got to follow Donald Trump, because every time Donald Trump says something, the market, I've got to watch to see what he says so that I can move money accordingly. And Donald Trump said something about something on Thursday, Friday, as he always does. And I went to the market and I looked at it, and I was like, the market doesn't care. The market doesn't even care about Trump. The market doesn't care what Trump says. The market doesn't care. And if it doesn't care what the leader of the free world, I think America still is technically, um, if the market doesn't care what Donald Trump is saying, it's not going to care it's not going to care what I think, it's not going to care what you say, it's not going to care what I say, it's not going to care. It's just not going to care. And I suppose that is the beauty of trading, it just doesn't do what we want, it just follows its own path, and we got to realize that. We got to just take it in and enjoy the ride. Like, that's all we can do. That's all we can do is just get up every day and come to the market, follow our strategy, and hope to make some money. And there's some days you will have good days, some days you'll have bad days, and the market can make you angry, and that's okay. And as long as you're happy with what you did, if you go, oh, I should have done that, oh, I should have done that, yeah, it's then you know that you're on the wrong mindset, and it's like, and so it's better to say, I followed my strategy, the market went against me, and that's all right. Next time, it it will might go against me again, or it might go with me. But I've got to keep playing. I've got to keep putting my foot in and doing what I need to do. So yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say. Let's bring this up here again. So yeah, so there's nothing much. Yeah, I'll see how this week goes. It's going to be my first week as a live trader, playing with real money. So yeah, hopefully I stay sane. If you don't see me next week, yeah, call my family, tell them I love them, and yeah, we'll see how we go. It's all about a game, isn't it? So we'll just enjoy it. So yes, I suppose just please like, subscribe, follow for more. Let me know, comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And stay diligent, stay profitable. Cheers.